New Mr. Commissioner.
Fire away. How's everybody doing?
Okay.
Good.
Your impressions so far on not just the match, but the surroundings of the match?
It's a great day for soccer in America. I've been saying that so many times over the last couple of years, and I think at some point, we might get to the point in our league where we won't have these great moments. We call them moments of truth, an opportunity for our sport to really shine. We've wanted to be in Philadelphia since this league has been launched, and I have to say it's been over-delivering on our expectations. Their season ticket sales, the passion, their fan base, the Sons have been great crowd tonight, and the team's actually playing pretty well, so it's pretty good.
What did you and the Vice President have to say about soccer?
Well, he greeted me, the first thing he said is, "I hear you had 36,000 in Seattle." So either he's a really big fan or he's got some, pretty good handlers. But he clearly is a fan. His granddaughter loves to play, and he's from the area and knows a lot about what's been going on with the team. Is excited about the development going on in Chester, and he was both impressed and I think excited about the opportunity to be a part of it. It's the first time we've ever had a vice president attend an MLS match, so I think it speaks a bit to where our league has come, or how far our league has come, and the significance that our sport has in the marketplace.
Is this team, and maybe what Seattle is doing too, an example of what can be done in an NFL stadium by the league?
We think about that a lot. I think, in Seattle, I think they could probably sell another 10,000 seats if they chose to, and they've got a great crowd tonight. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but it's more so than we thought there would be. We still believe you got to have soccer-specific stadiums and create intimate environments, create scarcity of tickets, and provide the fans the opportunity to bottle up all that passion and create a real home field advantage. And in this phase of our lifespan, I think that's almost impossible to do in a very large facility.
Speaking of the passion, how significant are groups like, say, the Sons of Ben and other MLS fan groups to?
I have to say, without the Sons of Ben, this team probably doesn't get launched. They were around before the team really got off the ground. They helped lobby the state. They helped us with our discussions with the governor. They were very passionate in their support for the last number of years. Those are the folks that are going to be here through thick or thin, when it's not just your inaugural year, when the team might not be doing well. And we, as a league, need to have more groups like Sons of Ben, and we have many of them around the league. And I think that really is the turning point, or represents the turning point in Major League Soccer. The fact that we have supporters who care about their teams as something very close to their heart.
Don, talking about supporters, having teams that are just 2 hours away from each other, how important is that for this league?
Well, we're going to really see what it's going to be like in the Pacific Northwest in 2011, and think about what it's going to be like if we could get a second team in New York, and then you've got a true I-95 rivalry with two teams in New York. You've got Boston, you've got Philadelphia, you've got Washington, D.C. There are a couple of thousand people up in the upper deck here from D.C., and I think we're going to start seeing more and more fans travel like Toronto fans have taught other MLS supporters to do, going around our stadiums. I'd like to see those fans more inculcated or integrated within our general fan base, and that's something we've got to work on, because there are more people here than we thought would be here from D.C. I know that Nick has told me in PPL Park that they will be in the lower level visiting teams. They've got it in their ticket manifest, in their plans. I know that the teams in the Pacific Northwest are starting to think about that, and it's going to create a great dynamic going forward.
Commissioner, have you talked to Peter Novak about?
I did. He was very emotional. I was. It's a devastating thing to happen in our world, to see a head of state and a cabinet and so many people die in such a tragic accident. And Peter's up in the upper deck, or he's in a box. I feel for him. I know Vice President Biden walked over and said something to him, and this is it's a dark day.
You talked about potentially putting a second team in New York. Do you think that market's ready for a second team?
I do, and I know the Red Bulls believe so as well. The Red Bulls are off out of the box in the last couple of weeks, very strong. I've got a lot of faith in that team, a lot of faith in their new approach. That stadium is, you guys have probably seen it, it's absolutely fantastic. Team's playing pretty well. I think we've got a good thing going in the tri-state area.
As far as the Philadelphia stadium goes, is your understanding that everything is on schedule?
Yeah. And I think it's going to be one of the great stadiums in our league. It's got an incredible setting right on the waterfront. We use that model as an example of what urban redevelopment can be like. We talked about that with Mayor Nutter today. There's something special that I think will come out when that stadium opens at the end of June, and we're excited about it. Very much so.
Seeing what's happened here in Seattle, Toronto, and all, when you have a place like Dallas, how troubling is that?
You know, Steve, every league has teams that go through transitions, that have challenges, and we have teams like that as well. You know, years ago, the whole league was like that, right? So now we have strength in many, many markets. We've got markets that are operating like we would expect them to, and we have some markets that are struggling. And they're very, very specific and very singular, and if we just focus our attention there, as I know those teams are, on trying to understand what's working in Philadelphia or in Seattle, what's working in Los Angeles, and I think we'll get better.
Another encouraging sign for the league is what happened in Houston this week, where they took one step closer to their soccer-specific stadium. Talk about that.
That's right. Well, you know, Kansas City has finalized their deal, and they're off and running, and I think that's going to be an exciting market for Major League Soccer. Houston has got their final vote, and we're expecting that they'll break ground at some point soon on a new stadium. You've heard the Crafts talk about at the right time. Perhaps they would even.
How's San Jose coming along?
San Jose's got some challenges. That market is a bit difficult. I think they need to get a bit more corporate support before they get going with that project. But we only have a handful left, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to get somebody else to take.
What's it going to take to push Washington forward?
I don't know, and I wish I did. I got nothing to say on that one. It's frustrating. Anybody else?
Thank you, Mr.
Great guys.
Chairman.
Thanks.